Welcome back to Los Angeles. I'm Adam Housley, and you're watching Tech Take. You know, we've heard the threats from ISIS and a few other groups internationally, and they've been waged towards the U.S., levied towards the U.S., if you will. And now there's more technology out there that's meant to help protect us and our allies around the globe in face detection 3D technology. And here to talk about it, among other things, is Allison Berry, our defense specialist and war games columnist. You've seen her do her stories here on FoxNews.com for a number of years now. Always has very interesting information. And this latest stuff, Allison, very cool, especially in light of the ISIS threats. I mean, we hear these things in the news, and a lot of times people ask, well, what does it mean to me? And as we know, there's a long reach now with terrorism, and potentially this new technology is here to help us alleviate that.
Right, that's absolutely superb context for this, Adam. I think it's so important to kind of place these technologies in that sort of context. Like, how will we practically use it? And ISIS has been doing such a phenomenal job, unfortunately, in recruiting new people to their cause, including people we've heard, possibly Americans and British citizens who might not fit what people think a stereotypical terrorist would look like. So it's ever so important that we have the very best surveillance abilities to detect threats before they happen, whether that's facial recognition, spotting them in a crowd, or whether that's something that's concealed, a threat that's concealed, or, for example, identifying a dodgy explosive device, for example, in the Boston bombing incident. You know, if we had better surveillance abilities in terms of the quality of pictures we were getting, it really would just help our first responders and our agencies work so much more effectively. So that's what this sort of technology is important for.
Is this for just face recognition, or is there other things this can be used for, like finding devices or people, machines, or things that potentially could be placed in locations to harm us?
Well, this technology that I wanted to highlight this week is research coming out of the University of West England. So it's all the way across the pond, but you know, I'm always open to new ideas, and I think we all should be, from anywhere in the world where it might make things better for our first responding community. And it's based on a concept. I don't want to get too technical because it can get a little bit crazy and wonky, but it's called photometric stereo. So they have a range of technologies that are targeting the facial recognition, the objects that we discussed, threatening objects, relying on this sort of technology. And it kind of means it takes the differences in shading in a 2D image, and then it sort of isolates them and uses them to these little subtle differences to create a 3D version. So why is that important? Well, if you know a 2D image is good of, say, a potential terrorist, a 3D version is going to be even better and help our first responders really identify that person. Similarly, if there's something hidden beneath the clothes, you can use this sort of technology we're looking at right now, Adam, and at some of the ways that they can identify things that are concealed. So I think it's nice to have some practical examples so we can understand how things can be revealed by this sort of technology. I'll keep talking as we go through them, but the idea is that, say you've got a weapon hidden beneath someone's clothes, they're on a train platform, what it will do is, using this sort of research and these very advanced algorithms and image processing techniques, what they can do is identify very subtle shading beneath someone's, say, heavy jacket, and then they take that data and connect it to a reference database, and their system is able to figure out, that's an AK-47, or that's an explosive device. They're able to reveal those things that people are deliberately hiding, these threats that they're deliberately hiding from us.
How far along are they on this? I know a lot of the technologies you bring here, there's already an application, and they're already being used, they're already being tested in other ways. Some of the technologies are things that are kind of still in the studio, so to speak, haven't been brought out in the real world yet. So with this technology, this 3D technology that does facial recognition, as well as some of the other shading you spoke of, are they using this are they testing this outside yet, or is this still kind of inside the scientific community?
Right, so this is all very advanced. They've been working on this for several years. One that we didn't mention that I think might be fun for viewers is they're also using 4D, and the 4D is, that's an extension of the sort of research that we're talking about. The 4D is to, we're all familiar with a poker tell, right? People have tells when they're playing poker. The belief is that you might be able to identify terrorist threats as well through a terrorist tell, if you will. You'd be able to analyze micro-facial expressions and reveal the intent, their malintent. So that's a little bit more out of the box. That's a little bit farther down the pipeline, but it's very interesting. It analyzes images at a sub-pixel level, and that's how they pick up those micro-facial expressions. So I'd love to see this wheeled out as soon as possible. The idea, Adam, is that you don't need to buy a whole new system, and I love practical solutions, as you know. You could just use these sorts of technology to augment current, say, CCTV surveillance systems. So really, really smart technology, and I think it's very promising.
All right, Allison Berry, 3D technology to target terrorism. Interesting stuff. You want to find out more about this, read more in depth, you go to foxnews.com. Allison's article is up right now. Could 3D technology revolutionize surveillance? You can find, again, more about this technology as well as many others we've spoken about here on Tech Take, as well as been posted on foxnews.com, all right there at foxnews.com. Allison, thanks for joining us from New York.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles, and you're watching Tech Take.